Africa is full of hardworking people who are not working smart. Knowing what to do is much more important than doing what you know. The co-founder of Cellulant Corporation Africa, Ken Njorongo, said that if I had worried about what could go wrong, I would not have started. Sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith. Hello, you're welcome to my platform. I'm Ifa Chukwani, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about why most businesses don't outlive their founders in Africa. I've always thought about it that the cars we drive, most of the things we use, the founders are long gone, but the business keeps thriving. But when you look at our continent here in Africa, it's as if once the founder is dead, the businesses don't continue. But if you know any, I would love you to drop it in the comment section. I've thought about it, and this is the reason why I made this video. I believe you're going to learn one or two things from it. Let me start by saying that majority of African society is agrarian, as in we measure on the agricultural produce. But for various reasons, Africa's industrial revolution lags behind the progress made by the rest of the world. As it stands today, the private capital in Africa is overwhelmingly foreign-owned, in contrast to the African-owned capital. But why is this so? I mean, it's been 60 years that we got in our independence, yet Africa has not been able to grow its own money, neither have we been able to sustain businesses. So after thinking about this, I wrote down 5 reasons why businesses don't outlive a founder in Africa. The first reason why businesses do not outlive their founder in Africa is due to brain drain. There is massive brain drain in Africa. Our best minds are leaving. In fact, there is this kind of classism in Africa that most Africans that have left Africa to the West prefer to cheer up Africa from outside the continent. Most young Africans prefer to live and work in the West and never return. And then when those founders in Africa do not see their children or people to hand over to, once they are dead, the business will just die. The second one is tribalism and nepotism. Tribalism is systemic in Africa such that it affects the growth and longevity of businesses in Africa. A company owned by a Burundian would find it very difficult to make a Nigerian the head of the management sector just because of his tribe. And let me even come down to my home country, Nigeria. We have a company here, the government-owned NNPC, which means Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation. It says that it sold oil worth $41 billion and only got an inflow of $5 billion. Do you know the reason for this? The tribesmen of the president of the country are the ones managing the NNPC. Now, do you think NNPC is sustainable? This is how businesses die in Africa. The third reason why most businesses do not outlive their founder is the family. The Facebook founder, Mark Zuckerberg, is worth over $35 billion. But many don't know the name of the wife, or the father, or the brother, or the sister. Imagine if a Kenyan or a Nigerian owns Facebook. You know the answer, right? The truth remains that many African-owned businesses have not been able to cut off the influence of families on the idea of the founders. In fact, it is as if once an African has been able to develop a successful business, most of the friends and families will swarm around the company to seek for position, and most times they will get, because the founder would not want to be tagged a bad person for not trying to help his people. Of course, that is how the village people always say. And most time when they get those offices or position they vie for, they will mess up things because they are doing it with father. He's our own. He cannot do anything to me. He's my brother or he's my friend, stuff like that. And with time, let's say the founder dies on the way, that business is going to fail. The fourth is the I am all in all mindset of most African founders. In every business, there comes a time when losses that they have in the company will actually threaten the existence of the company. But do you know what businesses in advanced economies do? They seek for partnership or merger with bigger firms, which may even include buyouts. The CEO of the struggling firm would not mind stepping down as the head. But in the company where they're going to partner with, he's going to be giving some kind of privilege so that his company will just remain afloat. But here in Africa, most founders would not want to actually relinquish their position or try to seek for partnership. They'll be like, I have suffered so much to build it just to come and let another person enjoy it. I would rather struggle. And by their insisting on this, the business keeps dying, and before you know it folds up. The last but not the least is that most African-owned businesses do not have good succession plans. African indigenous businesses do not share their business secret with outsiders. They prefer to hand over the businesses to their children, even when they know that their children don't have the business acumen to handle the business. Such that once they die and the children handles the business, over time the business will just die off. But to pick a leaf from bigger companies like Coca-Cola and the rest, one thing is certain about them: they don't just hand over their businesses to anyone, even if the person is a blood relation. There's this beautiful succession plan which they have. They are always on the lookout for an employee in the company that has like a kind of rare leadership skill, and they will keep grooming the person, make the person very comfortable, and they will systematically put the person in a grooming process that the person might not even know, such that when it gets to the time, the person will just be transitioned to head over the company, and the company will continue. But here in Africa, once you exhibit a kind of rare leadership skill in a company, even the founder and others will actually start calling you ITK, or if you want to take you out. So as such, most businesses will not outlive their founders. Affinity with family supersedes business growth in Africa. And this is some of the reasons why most businesses die shortly after the founder's demise. Thank you for watching this far. Kindly like, share, and subscribe. Catch you up next week. Bye.